Guru Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Or pranams to Sri Narasimha Prabhuji, who is the inspiration behind this story series, isn't it? Okay. So today we are talking about the divine science of Ayurveda. Do you know what is Ayurveda? The term Ayurveda, Ayu means life, isn't it? Life. Veda means knowing. Ayurveda means knowing about life or the knowledge about life, or you can even say Ayurveda is the science of life. What kind of life? Not just simply any life. It is a life lived with energy. It's a life lived with energy and vitality. Simply living is no good, no. Simply living is no good. You have to have the energy, the enthusiasm, and the vitality and the sharpness of the intellect to make life happy and healthy, isn't it? So, Ayurveda is the science of life, and it's the most ancient science known to mankind. Nothing is older than Ayurveda. It has found mention in the Vedas itself. It is called one of the Vedas. In fact, they call Ayurveda the Panchama Veda, the fifth Veda. As we all know, there are four Vedas, no? Sama, Rig, Atharva, and Yajurveda. So Ayurveda is called the Panchama Veda. So where is the need to have such a science? What is the basis of Ayurveda? Ayurveda believes that we are all connected. All of us on the planet Earth are connected. I have a piece of sun in me. I have a piece of the moon in me. I have the stars. I have the plants. Everything is in me. We all know, isn't it, that the body is made up of food. The body is nourished by the food we eat, and food is grown from earth, isn't it? Food is grown from soil, and the food we eat affects our mind also. Affects our mind because the body is also affected by food. Our mind, which has thoughts and emotions and feelings, that is also a body. The mind is also a kind of body. It is a subtle body. It's a mental body. That is also affected by food. So the body and the mind both are affected by food. So it is very, very important to look after, to pay attention to what we eat. See, you know how many species are there on Earth from the beginning of creation? How many species are there? Scientists are still trying to determine how many species are there. But in our Padma Purana, in our Puranas, there is a Purana called the Padma Purana. Okay. In that, they have said that there are 84 lakh species on Earth. What are the species? We have aquatic species, we have amphibians, we have mammals, we have birds, we have reptiles, we have insects, we have animals, and then we have human beings, isn't it? So back then, ages ago, in our Puranas, they have said we have 84 lakh species on Earth. In that, all the species, starting from the amoeba, amoeba, that single-celled animal called the amoeba, starting from the amoeba to all the species, all of them take care of themselves. Each and every species, they know how to take care of themselves. They have that intelligence inbuilt within them. They'll eat exactly what they have to eat. They will consume the food exactly what they have to consume. They will eat, and they take rest when they have to take rest. They are active when they have to be active. All of them. Nobody teaches them. Nobody teaches them. Have you seen any animal teaching? The little one. Okay, you have to eat only this. You don't eat that. You don't go here. Go here. No. Instinctively they know. Plants, they grow in the desert. Only the desert kind of plants grow. In Amazon forest, only that kind of species grow. All these things. But only human beings know. We do all sorts of things. and we have no idea what we should eat, what we shouldn't. Have you noticed animals? Have you noticed dogs, cows, and all? When they fall sick, no, they'll quietly go and they'll eat a certain kind of plant, and they will clear their tummies, and they are all right. They know what to go, where to find the medicine they want, and they will become all right. Like that. And if they're not feeling well, they'll fast. They will not eat. They'll just simply keep quiet until their health is back to normal. But only human beings know we have to be told, don't eat this, don't eat that, take this, take that. We have to be told, don't eat so much of. We have a tendency to eat as per our desires. Our mind, no, when we see a chocolate or we see an ice cream, we'll eat one, and then the mind is not satisfied, it will ask for some more. So we go and eat some more. So we don't have the discrimination that even the animals have, isn't it? So the sages, they all decided that this human being also needs to be given a code of conduct of how to eat, what to eat, and how to make life healthy and energetic. That is why the Ayurveda came into existence. And so who gave this knowledge to man? As usual, it has to be the creator himself, isn't it? Everything has the origin in the creator. In Sanatana Dharma, the creator is called Brahma, isn't it? In Sanatana Dharma, the creator is called Brahma. So today we shall see how Ayurveda originated and how it was propagated, and how it has come down to us in this Kali Yuga, in this 21st century also it has come down to us thanks to these three masters of Ayurveda. They are called Charaka, Sushruta and Vagbhata. These are the three major people who contributed to the development and propagation of Ayurveda. Okay, and the basic principle of Ayurveda is that, as I told you, as we all know, that all of us are on the planet are connected, interconnectedness of life. This is the principle of Ayurveda. And these sages, they were all so brilliant, and their minds were so sharp because they used to meditate, and they used to do a lot of tapas. Their intellects were so sharp and heightened that they could talk to plants, they could talk to animals. Intuitively, they knew, the nature of everything around them. That is how they were able to codify, or they were able to understand what plant is good, what is the qualities, medicinal qualities of the herbs and all that. They were able to write down and make a note and all that, these sages. And the whole of the planet was their observatory. And you know what was their lab? Their labs were the common kitchens. In every traditional Indian kitchen, it's a laboratory of Ayurveda. If you have old great grandparents, or elders in the house, whatever they cook now in your house, in your kitchen, is all based on the principles of Ayurveda. Every traditional Indian kitchen is a laboratory of Ayurveda. We don't have, no need to have expensive pharmaceutical companies. Our own kitchens are the best places to create that medicine from the natural ingredients which are found in nature. Okay, so let us start from the beginning. Who gave us this Ayurveda, this knowledge of Ayurveda? The science of life, the science of energy, the science of well-being, the science of well-being of mental and physical and spirit. All three have to be good and integrated. That is the science of Ayurveda. So now we are looking at the descent of Ayurveda, means how the divine knowledge came down from the gods themselves to us. So with all other stories, we begin with Lord Brahmaji, the creator. Okay, Lord Brahmaji is called the creator, the Chaturmukha Brahma. He has got 4 heads. So he is traditionally known as the creator in our Sanatana Dharma, isn't it? So Brahmaji created the universe, he created man, he created everything. And he also knew, because he is the creator, he knew that The human beings will have to be given a science of medicine, of well-being, to look after themselves. So he had the entire knowledge of the Ayurveda, and he passed it on to Prajapati Daksha. You know what Prajapati means? Prajapati means a king. Praja, the Pati, the lord of Prajas or citizens, is
And
called.
he was the first king.
Yes, the Prajapati is the first king of every kalpa that begins, every set of yugas that begins. No, there'll be one Prajapati. So this Prajapati, for us, for this Kali Yuga, this Prajapati is called the Daksha. His name is Daksha. Okay, Daksha Prajapati. This Lord Brahmaji passed on this Ayurveda to Daksha Prajapati Daksha. Then this Prajapati, it is said, he passed it on to the Ashwini Kumaras. You know who Ashwini Kumaras are? Ashwini Kumaras are
They are gods of medicine.
They are gods of medicine, number one. Actually, they are the physicians of medicine. And also they are the sons of the sun, the Lord Sun God, Surya Devata, Ashwini Kumaras. So now it's from Brahmaji, it has come to Daksha Prajapati, and then it came to the Ashwini Kumaras, who are known as the physicians of the Devatas. So if anything happened to all these Indra, Devendra and all, they're always fighting with all the Asuras, no? That Indra is always protecting his throne, and he's always fighting with the Asuras. So when they come with cuts and bruises and all, this Ashwini Kumaras take care of all the Devas and their army. Okay, so the Ashwini Kumaras are the physicians. And then the Ashwini Kumaras passed on this knowledge to the Lord Indra himself, it is said. In one of the Puranas, it is said that this is how the knowledge was passed on, or this was known to all these divine beings. After that, um, uh, down on earth, all the sages, they said that this is no good. If Indra and the Ashwini Kumaras have their knowledge and they're sitting by themselves, it is no good. We need it here on earth. We need to help mankind with this knowledge. So they all got together and they requested sage Bharadwaja to go and get that knowledge from Lord Indra. So it is said, sage Bharadwaja, he is the one of the first Saptarushis, right? He is the direct, he is the son of Brahma himself, Manasaputra of Brahma. So sage Bharadwaja got this knowledge from Lord Indra and he brought it down to earth, it is said. And then he passed it on to his disciples. That was how this whole knowledge came down to earth. Now, all this, if you ask me, do you have proof did this happen? I don't know. This happened in the Puranas. This is said in the Puranas, and it is called as, that is why Purana is called as mythology. And we have to take the word which is given to us by the Puranas. And through all this, you know how this knowledge was propagated, how it was all memorized, Brahmaji had it anyway, because he's the creator. Then it was given to Prajapati, and he had to, it is called Smriti and Shruti. It was heard and then it was memorized. It was told, it was heard, it was memorized. It was told, it was heard, it was memorized. That was how the whole chain of knowledge came. Nobody was writing down anything. It was all in the head. But that is how it has passed on through the generations. But then, fortunately for us, Itihasa started. That is, there is a history also of how Ayurveda has come down to us. Itihasa is what is written. Purana is, mythology is what we have heard. And in Itihasa, we have a correct, logical, sequence of events we can know through Itihasa, which is history. Okay, the first written manuscript was in the Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda has a proper section on Ayurveda, and it describes so many kinds of herbs. Atharva Veda describes 293 kinds of herbs with healing properties, and the Atharva Veda deals with topics like the injuries to the body and the fertility, fertility of human beings, and insanity, how to keep the mind healthy, and their treatments. Everything is found in the Atharva Veda. All right. And then, as far as the human being, people on earth are concerned, Atreya Rushi, he was the one, after Bharadwaja taught it to his disciples. It must have come down through several generations, just come down. And then Atreya Rushi is the first documented literature we have on Ayurveda. Okay. And he taught it through question and answer to his disciples. And his one of his most brilliant disciples was called Agnivesha. This Agnivesha he wrote after learning from his master Atreya Rushi. He learned and he wrote this Agnivesha Tantra. This is the first treatise on Ayurveda we have, Agnivesha Tantra. And much later, and this Atreya Rushi and Agnivesha are said to have been in the 1000 to 800 BC, before Christian era. That's how many years ago? Almost 3000 years ago. Hmm? These scientists, these spiritual researchers and scientists lived that long ago. And after that, after this Agnivesha Tantra, this took off. The science of Ayurveda really took off. And then came Acharya Charaka, and then Acharya Sushruta, and then Acharya Vagbhata. So these three are the major people who took this forward and made it available to mankind. So let us see each of them, how they contributed. And these three are called as the Bruhat Trayi, the great three. Bruhat means the huge, the big, or the great. Trayi means the three, the trinity of these acharyas. They are called the Bruhat Trayi of Ayurveda. All right. Let us see then what did Acharya Charaka do? Yes. Acharya Charaka lived in the 800 BCE. That is almost 2800 years ago. It is said, this is just an estimate based, see, like we have to remember that all these great sages and people, they never wrote down their names anywhere in any of their works. They felt that their work was more important than their identity. That is why all that we know about them is we have to infer from whatever they have written in the books. We have to, oh, he has referred to this desha. Oh, he has referred to this king. So maybe he lived in this century. Like that, we have to, the historians have inferred and they have concluded more or less that this Acharya Charaka lived in that 800 BCE. And Charaka is actually not a name. Charaka means the one who wanders. Charatiti. Okay, Charati, the one who wanders, is called, he was called, that is because of, I believe he belonged to this Yayavara school of teaching. These Yayavara people know what they used to do. They used to go from place to place. They used to travel from village to village, city to town to town, city to city, and then serve people. That was why he was called as the wandering physician. And so this great wise sage who used to go from town to town treating people who were ill, he was called as Charaka, Acharya Charaka. Okay, so nobody knows his proper name. So he was a wandering physician. And he's called as the father of Indian medicine. Why? Because that Agnivesha Tantra was there, no? He added a lot more to it. He did a lot more research. Acharya Charaka did a lot more research and added to Agnivesha Tantra. And then he wrote and he hailed from this place called Kapisthal near Kashmir. So all these great sages are always in the Himalayas and that part of, in the higher regions. So he wrote the Charaka Samhita. Charaka is his name, that is his given name. Samhita means an compilation. Samhita is a compilation of articles. Okay. This Charaka Samhita is not only a text regarding Ayurveda, it's almost like a travelogue because, like we understood, he was a wandering physician. He went from place to place to place to place. So every place he went, he has described that place. Okay. and the kind of herbs that were growing in this place, and the kind of medicines that were available in that place. So this Charaka Samhita is more like a travelogue, and it documents the medicinal qualities of 1 lakh herbs and more. Just imagine 1 lakh herbs in those times, 2,800 years ago, where they did not have these modern, instruments of observation and documentation, nothing, no, and traveling. How were they traveling? This man, everywhere they went, he went with the disciples and documenting all these herbs and all. And what does Charaka Samhita? Charaka studied the various organs in the human body and studied how they work and why they don't work. Basically, anatomy, physiology, everything Charaka studied and documented, and concentrated on this, how the digestion, metabolism, and immunity of the body. All these were covered in the Charaka Samhita. And most importantly, this is the principle of Ayurveda, right? And so Charaka, um, he stressed on the importance of diet. Diet means the food, the kind of food we consume, and exercise. Everything is important, especially the diet and exercise is stressed by Ayurveda. And we all know about the Hippocrates oath, no? The father of modern medicine, Hippocrates, he has given an oath, no? Every doctor, medical doctor takes that oath that I will treat the patient to the best of my ability, and all that. That oath is taken. So before Hippocrates, we had Charaka, who gave a code of ethics and a code of conduct in his Charaka Samhita. How should a physician behave, and how should he himself should have a good code of conduct. He himself should be of exemplary character. He should not be a crook. See, if you yourself don't have a healthy body and mind, how will you treat people? So Charaka gave a healthy code of conduct and ethics for the physicians, for the Vaidyas. He gave a code of conduct. So see, if Charaka was in the 800 BC, Hippocrates was somewhere in the 400 BC. Almost 500 years before Hippocrates, we already had a code of conduct for physicians. And some of the quotes of this Charaka, he said, it is more important to prevent a disease than to cure it. See, taking medicine after you're unhealthy is one thing. But what if you don't fall sick at all? That's a better way, no, to handle life. So that is one of the principles of Ayurveda. How to prevent, how to be healthy is the focus of Ayurveda, not how to cure. How to cure will come later. But don't fall sick in the first place. Take care of your diet, take care of your exercise, see the food you eat, and so you can prevent disease. So that was a noble thought process that went into Ayurveda. How to live a healthy life rather than how to cure sickness, right? And he also said, health and disease are not predetermined. That means we create our own problems. They are not determined. When you are born only, it is not determined, he says. Health and disease are not predetermined, and life can be prolonged by human effort and attention to lifestyle. See, that is what exactly modern medicine also does, no? The more and more drugs are discovered, the longer and longer people are able to live. The mortality rate is very low. We are able to live more and more. That is what Charaka said 2,800 years ago. Life can be prolonged by human effort. That means you cannot say it is my karma, I know I will die early or something like that. No, he said you can, with your effort, you can prolong your life and give attention to lifestyle. That was Charaka. Then came the next big Acharya of medicine called Acharya Sushruta. This was some 200 years later. Okay. Acharya Sushruta belonged to the Shalina school as opposed to the Yayavara school of Acharya Charaka. What this the Shalina school means, he had the Guru Shishya Parampara style of teaching. That means he used to he had an ashram, and disciples used to come to him and learn. That is Acharya Shushruta style. Acharya Shushruta is called as the father of surgery and father of anesthesia. Can you imagine? Much before modern medicine and surgical methodologies came into practice, here was our own Acharya Shushruta who conducted surgeries without all these modern operating theaters or all these paraphernalia. He had found a method of conducting surgery, and if you have to conduct surgery you have to have anesthesia also, no, without hurting, without giving too much pain to the patient, you have to conduct the surgery. So he had discovered what all the herbs, what are the which could induce that the numbness in the limbs or in the in the body. And Acharya Shushruta was born in Kashi. What is Kashi? It is nothing but the Banaras or Varanasi, as we call it, right? One of the most ancient cities of India is Kashi. And Acharya Shushruta lived in Kashi. He was born in Kashi. And he was a
Ma'am,
royal physician to the king of, yes.
ma'am, Acharya Sushruta was also the father of plastic surgery.
Yes, surgery and especially plastic surgery, especially rhinoplasty. You know what rhinoplasty is? Surgery of the nose. It's called rhinoplasty. He was very efficient. He was the first person who did rhinoplasty, surgery of the nose. That is why he's called the father of plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery also. So Sushruta has written the Sushruta Samhita. So again, in the Sushruta Samhita or the compilation of articles by Sushruta, it discusses various aspects of surgery because he was an expert in surgery. And this Samhita describes 125 kind of instruments, surgical instruments, knives, tweezers, needles. All these science was available in India before the modern medicine came to us. And he has described 300 types of operation procedures in the Sushruta Samhita. 300 types, imagine. I don't know how many types are there in modern medicine, but must be more also. Then he specialized in plastic surgery and eye surgery also, and broken bones and cesarean sections, how to remove the baby before, if the normal delivery was not possible. All this Sushruta has developed. See, here is a picture of, it's an artist's imagination of how Sushruta was conducting his surgeries. Then Sushruta's book has been translated into Arabic. Kitabe Sushrud, it is called. And by the way, even Charaka's book has been, Charaka Samhita has also been translated by Arab scholars. And during these times, during the time of this Sushruta and Charaka, Buddhists and Arab travelers, they helped a lot in taking these teachings to the Orient and to the Middle East. They did a lot of work in translating the works of Indian masters, and the Buddhists took it to the Orient, to China and Japan, and the Middle East also. These Arabs, they also took our knowledge and took it to the Middle East also. Okay, they have done super. I mean, it's a wonderful work they have done, because you know what? In the middle of all this Nalanda University was a repository of all there are thousands and thousands of books were there in the Nalanda University containing all the divine knowledge. But then they were all burned down. They were all burned. And because these Buddhists and Arabs had translated so many of our works, they were still, we have so much of that retained because of that also. And then later, after in the 600 after Christ AC, we have Acharya Vagbhata, who was most instrumental in bringing down bringing Ayurveda down south. Okay, Acharya Vagbhata, he was also from the north. He was from the Sindhu Desha. The Indus Valley civilization was called as Sindhu Desha. And this Acharya Vagbhata, he was a Brahmin. He was a Hindu who turned a Buddhist. And he was a son of Simhagupta, disciple of Avalokita, it is said. So this is the identity of this Acharya Vagbhata. And he is famous for his books Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Hrudaya. Again, in these books, he has studied Charaka and Sushruta, and he has made it more modern, or maybe he modified a lot of it. And these are his books, Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Hrudaya, are now the basic texts of Ayurveda, read by all the students of Ayurveda from then on. And what did Acharya Vagbhata say? He said 85% of diseases, they do not require a doctor. Only 15% do. Remember, Ayurveda says you can control your health by the food you eat and your lifestyle. So if you do that, you don't have to go to a doctor. Only major diseases you need to go to a doctor, maybe 15%. And this Acharya Vagbhata, he traveled to Kerala through a merchant ship. So by that time, merchants from China, Rome, and Greece, they all used to travel by sea. Why they used to come to India? For spices. India is the land of spices, no? So they used to come to India for spices and oils and textiles and ivory. So this trading had begun big time by this time. And so Acharya Vagbhata came down, it is said, and he reached Kerala. In Kerala, what he did? He established schools called Sabhamadham. Sabhamadham schools in Pulamantole village in Kerala. It is said Vagbhata settled in a village in Kerala and he started sharing his knowledge of Ayurveda with the disciples. And he had 18 families of Kerala. They were his original disciples. And before Ayurveda came to them, they were folk healers. See, they had their native wisdom. No, all civilizations will have their native wisdom. Folk healers, and then poison experts, then herbalists, and then priests who do homas and havans, to uh, mm, propitiate the devas and gods. All these people, they became the disciples of Acharya Vagbhata. And so these 18 families are called as the Ashtanga Vaidya families. So now Kerala is a major center for Ayurveda, isn't it? I'm sure your elders in the family, they would have gone there for this Panchakarma therapy and all. There are plenty of Kottakkal Arya Vaidyashala is very famous. Ayurveda in Kerala is very, very authentic, it's preserved in the original form and it's very, very respected. And people from all over the world come to Kerala to get Ayurvedic treatment. So why did this Vagbhata come down from north to south? This colonialists, no, they have described many manuscripts when the British came to India. They imposed their system of medicine on us. But thanks to these Acharya Vagbhata, it has survived in Kerala. Ayurveda has survived in Kerala, and now the same colonialists are embracing Ayurveda. The whole world is going back to Ayurveda, or they're appreciating uh, the wealth of knowledge that is there in Ayurveda. And in fact, many universities across the world have departments named after Charaka and Sushruta. Now gaining a lot of popularity and gaining a lot of respect. And papers are being written on Ayurveda and all and the wisdom. So that is the contribution of these acharyas. So quickly to recap, so who were these ancient sages from whom this from Bharadwaja and all it came? We saw, no? Who were these sages who compiled all this knowledge, and what did they do? They were all dedicated spiritual scientists and researchers who left no trace of their identity. So we don't even know the names of the many thousands of sages who must have done this work, codifying all these plants and herbs and writing all the formulations and formulas. They were just dedicated research. And what was their motivation? Why did they do all these things? Their only motivation was service to society. They were not interested in gathering awards or PhDs or being awarded by society. Nothing. No, they didn't even mention their names anywhere. Their motivation was service to society. And what was their inspiration? The inspiration is their purpose of life according to Sanatana Dharma. What is the purpose of life? According to us, it is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which means we have to do everything. A human being should be able to do whatever he wants to do in life. That is, he has to earn money. You have to study, you have to earn money, you have to have a family, you have to be successful in life, you have to pursue a beautiful profession, which all of you children will do, right? You're all studying, you all have ideas, you have plans of what you want to do in life, all that you will do. But at the end, according to Sanatana Dharma, the end purpose of life is moksha. Moksha means realizing your relationship with God and merging with God. That is the aim of life according to Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma says you can do everything, but keep that as the goal. Okay, that is the basic. Why are you born as a human being? You are born as a human being not just to enjoy life. You are born as a human being to achieve moksha, to realize who you are, what your relationship with God is, and how to achieve it. That is the basis of Sanatana Dharma. So the sages said, if you don't have a healthy life, if you don't have a healthy body and a healthy mind, how will you achieve your goal in life? What that goal of moksha? How will you achieve? So the sages said their goal was to help human beings to realize God and become one with God. How? Through a healthy mental and physical health and longevity, and through prevention rather than cure. So you understand the basic difference of modern medicine or how the thinking of the modern age and these sages. The modern medicine says you have to live healthy, so they treat the body, finish. What you do with your life, it is not their business. But Ayurveda says, with a healthy body, your mind will also be healthy and you'll be able to prolong your life so that you can achieve the fourfold goals of life, which is earn money, fulfill your desires, do your bit for society, and then realize your own nature. Right? So that was a difference between the thinking of the modern sages, of the ancient sages, and the modern researchers. Okay. So just quickly, what are the basic principles of Ayurveda? As we said, Ayurveda says we are all connected to the whole planet. All of us are connected. And the body is composed, the body and the world and the universe is composed of the Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, and either or space, right? So the proportion of all these are very, very important in the body to maintain good health. The proportion of these five elements, it's a formula, H2O, two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of oxygen makes water. Similarly, there's a formula in which the body has all these five elements. That formula has to be maintained, and if the balance is not maintained, you will fall sick. Simple logic. And Ayurveda says the constitution of a person depends on the proportion of these elements in the body. And there are three kinds of constitutions, or three kinds of physiological, types of people. Some people are Vata, or that means their Vayu and Akasha Tattva, the elements of Vayu and Akasha in them is more. They are called Vata body. And Pitta body, there's Agni and Jala is more in them, and Kapha is Jala and Prithvi. I don't know the details of all this. I'm just barely know that there are three kinds of people who have Vata prominent, Pitta prominent, and Kapha prominent. And so Ayurveda treats people, because the Ayurvedic physician determines what kind of body you have. And according to that, they will prescribe the medicine. Not just, okay, everybody take Prosin. No, it's not like that. They will first determine this, whether this body, constitution of the body is able to tolerate some kind of medicine or not. They will determine all that, and then only they will give. So treatment is given after determining the patient's nature. It's called Prakriti. The Prakriti of a body is Vata Prakriti, Pitta Prakriti, and Kapha Prakriti. All these you must have heard if you have elders in the family. They say, so if you suppose you have a cold, your grandmom or somebody elder will say, okay, today don't have curds, okay, don't have curd rice, isn't it? They'll say don't have curd rice. Then if you are feeling very, if you have heat, oh, you have got heat today, you eat some, you have some buttermilk, or you have methi, or they say put some castor oil on the head. These are all the traditional wisdom that was given to us by the sages and which was practiced in every Indian household. Hmm? So, what does Ayurveda recommend? Ayurveda recommends dinacharya, means disciplining daily life. Ayurveda says how to lead your how you have to behave your discipline in daily life. What time you have to wake up early in the morning, and have a bath properly, and then eat a proper breakfast. It is said you have to have a heavy breakfast, you have to have a medium lunch, and a very light dinner. That is the order given by Ayurveda. Breakfast like a king. It is a, have you heard this? Breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. It is said. That means as the day progresses, your digestion power will go down. So you should not have heavy food in the night. It is said. So Ayurveda has given us dinacharya. Dina means day, charya means behavior, discipline in daily life. You should not sleep too much, not wake up too late in the day. All these have been given by Ayurveda. And it also gives us Ritu Charya. Ritu means season. Again, Charya means how to behave in a certain season. Discipline in daily life according to changing seasons, isn't it? So in summer we have a different schedule. In winter we have a different schedule. In monsoon we have a different schedule. All these has been given by Ayurveda. And what are the seasonal fruits to eat? What are the seasonal vegetables to eat? See, so beautiful, no? Everything is based on nature. All these sages they observed nature, and they knew how it would affect us, affect the human being. So Swami Vivekananda has said a very beautiful thing. He says, all the secrets of the universe can be found deep within us. Just as a stone at the bottom of the river can be seen when the ripples stop, the secrets will be revealed when the mind becomes quiet. So if somebody asks, "Oh, how did all these sages know? How did Brahma know? How did Prajapati know? How did this one know? That one know?" It is irrespective of how what anyone knew. It is important that for any sort of creativity, for any sort of knowledge to come from within us, we have to become meditative. The secrets of the universe can be found deep within us, says Swami Vivekananda. This is the secret of all knowledge, not just Ayurveda. Everything. If you have to, if you have to do something creative, we have to become quiet and spend some time within ourselves, then the most beautiful things we can create. That is how Ayurveda was given by the sages to the world. Okay, so this is the story of Ayurveda. Now tell me, you want to say something about all this, people?
Ma'am,
Tell me.
ma'am, is there an Ayurvedic medicine for coronavirus also, ma'am?
See, we have been having no all these kashayas. You have been drinking or no? All these kashayas with all the spices, dhania, jeera, pepper, ginger, all of these.
No, ma'am.
They have, what?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, I'm so sorry, but that is the usually we have. If you have elders in the family, grandmothers or great grandmothers, they would have told you to have that
They
kashaya,
only said to have hot water.
hot water. Okay, but this kashaya became very famous, yeah. It's very, very, it cleanses the body and the toxins are removed from the body, and it builds up your immunity also. That's what Kashaya does. Kashaya is nothing, Kashaya means a decoction of all the herbs and spices which are important for the body. That is called
And they
Kashaya.
say even
Yes, yes.
Chyawanprash is also Ayurvedic.
Yes, yes. Everything, all the products of Ayurveda, they help to build your immunity. Building immunity means you don't even fall sick with the COVID virus. Your body will stop it from entering your system. That is called immunity. That is how you build immunity. Your body is very strong. If you take all these chamantrash and all these herbal concoctions, no, your body will develop that immunity. After you get COVID, there's a different matter. You take some medicines, but don't get COVID at all. No, that is the way to go. Right?
I have been drinking Kashaya ji.
Who is that G? Who is talking?
Sanvi Karthik.
Okay, Sanvi. Oh, nice.
Purnima ji, even me.
You're also drinking, Namit?
Yeah.
Okay. So even if you don't have, even there is no COVID and all these things are good to have. I'm sure not too much also, because if you have too much of that, right, it is said your body will develop heat.
I drink with bilva and tulsi powder.
They are cooling. That tulsi cools your body. And bilva also. In Yugadi is coming, no? Yugadi will come next week, no? Then we eat neem, right? See, every festival of India, we have some of these things added to our diet. And during this one, what you call, when do we eat Nallikai? After Deepavali, no? Utvan Vatsi, we get Amla. So that is the season to eat this one, gooseberry. So for every festival, we have a seasonal fruit or vegetable which comes, which is important for us to eat. Mangoes come in summer. It's good to eat mangoes in summer. But now all vegetables are available in all the seasons. And if we eat it, it's not going to help us at all. Watermelons, they come in
Summer.
Watermelon is summer, jackfruit is in summer, isn't it? So before, when I was a child, when I was like you, we used to wait for summer to get mangoes and jackfruit and watermelon and all. But now, because everybody is growing everything in all the seasons, so people really don't know when to eat what. But it is very, very important. That is why we had a festival for Tulsi Habba. You remember Tulsi Habba we do after Deepavali? That is when we bring the gooseberry plant and we do namaskara to it, we do puja to it, because that amla is very, very medicinal. It has got huge properties, medicinal properties. So we take the blessings of God, we take the blessings of the plant. And by the way, you know what? All these sages, they used to do, before plucking the herbs, they used to pray to the herb, they used to pray to the plant and take the permission. Please allow me to pluck you for my benefit. They used to take the permission and then pluck, because everything has got consciousness. Even plants, animals, plants, everybody can feel that pain. When you pluck a flower also, it is said you have to beg the forgiveness and then only pluck. So during Utvan Vatsi, we pray to the plant and we take blessings of Amla, and then we have Amla. Then we have gooseberry. We start using, we make upinkai, we make pickles, everything from Chavanpraj, everything we make. Like that, in every festival, one special this thing will come. And during Shankranti, we eat lot of peanuts. Huh? You eat eldu, no? That mixture you eat with kobri, with this copra and ground and all that. That is because that's the cold, no? In January, it's a little bit cold. So your skin will be very dry. So when you eat that peanuts and copra and all, your body will have a little oil. Grease will go into the body because they are oily. See, this is how it is very, very, there's a lot of wisdom behind all the festivals that we have, right? And we have these gensu, this sweet potato also comes during this January season. That is the season to eat this sweet potato. but you should not eat too much of potatoes and all during summer because it's difficult to digest. All these wisdom is always there in the Indian psyche. Indian kitchen is a laboratory of Ayurveda. Okay, so you should make an effort to know what is good, what is bad, when to eat what, when not to eat, and like Charaka and Shusta and all these Ayurveda say, they say Dinacharya and Rutucharya, what to eat during, how to behave during the day, and how to behave during according to the season. All right, anything else, people? So, who wants to become an Ayurveda doctor, or at least know a little bit about Ayurveda?
I want to know about Ayurveda.
You want to study Ayurveda, Namit?
Yeah, in IIT if I get an opportunity.
IIT also you will do.
Yeah.
Good. Look, whatever you do, it's okay. But have a little knowledge of Ayurveda. That's enough to have a healthy and happy life. You don't have to go and get a degree also, right? You can
Yeah.
just.
I can do PhD.
You'll do PhD?
I don't know still. I have just kept it as an option.
Good. Do it.
If we learn Ayurveda, we can be our own doctor.
Yes. You
Yeah,
can
we
be
don't need doctors.
That is what Vagbhata said, no? You don't have to go to a doctor. 85% of your problems you can solve yourselves by knowing how to, control your diet. So yes, we can not only help ourselves, we can help our people also around us, isn't it? So it's very, very important. And the best part is this Ayurveda, they don't have any side effects. They don't have, if they don't help you, at least they won't harm you, at least, that's one of the things about Ayurveda. So it's very, very safe to take Ayurveda, but of course with consultation only you take. Please don't go and take whatever you want from the shelf, because as you should remember, no, we have our constitution, vata, pitta, kapha. What is, we don't know what our constitution is. Before it was easy, the people had that knowledge. They used to see the nadi, the pulse they used to feel, and they would tell what is the constitution of the body. But now they don't do all that. I don't know, people used to do it aram se before. Now I don't know. Okay, there is nothing else. Shall we stop for the day? Shall we pray? Do the closing prayer? So the closing prayer is Asatoma and what, Namit?
I have one thing.
Huh.
Today, last year, I remember it has been last year. This day it was Ram Navami.
Okay. What do you have for Ram Navami? Ayurveda Prakara? What does the festival recommend? What does Ram Navami say you should do on Ram Navami day? Have buttermilk.
Yeah.
Nah, because the heat is rising, it's becoming very hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
The sun is rising, the temperatures are going up. So to cool the body, you have to have buttermilk and then panaka also, lemon juice, right?
Is
So
it
these are
tarboos
all
juice?
huh?
Tarboos juice?
Tarboos juice and bela dhannu. So I don't know what you call it in English. Bela juice. So all these things are so natural to Indian, Indian households. We because of the festivals, we know what to have, what to do. Festivals are according to season, and the food is according to the season. Okay, good, Namit. You remembered about Ram Navami. So next Ugadi is coming. So during Ugadi we'll have neem and
Jaggery.
jaggery. Jaggery again is good for rather than sugar, jaggery is. So many things that there are so many things to learn about our own food systems, and it's good so that we can manage our lifestyles better. Okay, so let us do the closing prayer, people. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti 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 Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Hari Om Tat Sat Krishnarpanamastu.